5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello, my mythical crew. Well, it's kind of weird now. I went on strike, guys. That's why I
What kind
wasn't
of
here.
strike? Hunger strike?
Well, no, I went on strike from the podcast till we got video. So that's why I'm back now that we have video, and I feel subconscious.
Well, Josh, who'd you tell about this strike?
Me.
Yourself?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're like this little girl.
He went on strike to the Department of Comedy.
There's this little girl on Instagram. Can't be more than about 3 years old.
Creepy.
And she got a hold of some lipstick. And she put it all over her face. And her dad saw her and he asked her a bunch of questions. But one of the questions was, who'd you ask permission to use that lipstick? And you know what she said, Josh? She said the same thing you said. She said, myself.
I think I've seen that video.
It's hilarious. But, Josh, you got to let other people know about your strike or else.
Well, I didn't even know.
No
I didn't fully know I was on strike until, now. Now that we have video.
Josh, according to my dad, was on his honeymoon.
Oh.
Right, Josh?
Yeah.
Yeah, with my brother. Mm-hmm.
Whoa, Josh.
Whoa.
You and your brother? I never knew you were like that, Josh.
Well, sometimes
I think that's too soon.
sometimes you move from Arizona to Alabama and you move back because you realize there's a mistake.
There's no gay people over there.
But they love their family.
Now but for real, so you're in a hotel. Why?
Okay, guys. I was in a hotel for 4 days because my AC went out. And I was sick, so I didn't even go to school. I just sat in a hotel.
That's rough, man.
It's rough.
Because here in Arizona, you don't have a choice.
No.
Your house will be 110 degrees within a couple hours of your AC going out, man.
Yep. Yeah, my speaker. So I have a big speaker. You know the one I bought? It was an impulsive buy, and Taylor was there. So was some of our other friends. Just one other friend, I think. And it was like on sale for, $50 off? So it was like $100. And I bought it, and the battery fried. I have to have it plugged in all the time. Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I went home and got my PS4 the
same
second
with that
day.
Speaker there got rained on.
Ugh. So the two opposite events, kind of. Rain and... Well, anyways, I got my PS4 so it wouldn't fry. My TV works. And other than that, there's not really many other electronics. So
What about your clothes?
my clothes? My clothes all smell like heat. I had to wash all my clothing.
Smell like heat.
Yeah, when it's hot for 4 days, you'll learn that your clothes
It gets
get
a weird
smell.
smell, man. No, it's true because, like, I work, half the time I work outside, half the time I'm inside. But there's days where I'll have to be working outside for, like 10 hours straight outdoors. And you do get a smell from the sun. It's a weird smell.
Yeah.
That you get on your clothes. And I even feel like sometimes on my skin, it smells like it's burnt or something.
I did find out something new last night that was an issue. My football cards, a few of them melted to my desk.
What?
Yeah. The desk you guys gave me. So, for reference, I got a big black desk. Kind of like this one, but more of a rectangle. Because it is a rectangle. This isn't a rectangle.
This is a hexagon.
Yeah. And I have football cards on there. New ones out of the pack like a month ago. And 3 of them melted. Like the corners only, thankfully. Some of the corners melted to the desk. And that's what I'm going to spend the rest of today doing is trying to figure out how to undo that.
It's Labor Day, Josh. You ain't got any plans?
No.
Aren't you popular?
It doesn't mean I have plans. I go home and clean my desk. Labor Day is my day off. It's supposed to be. Went on a 5-mile run today. Almost died.
The name of Labor Day.
Yeah? Because it should
Why?
be the day you do labor.
Yeah, it sounds like a day of labor, and there's no...
No, it's a day that you rest from labor. You're supposed to just
Anti-labor day.
Should be,
stay home and chill.
No Labor Day.
How would that sound? Yeah, today we're celebrating Anti-Labor Day for all the lazy people out there that don't want to
Labor
work.
Day, man.
That sounds
No.
wonderful.
So, Josh, at the hotel, did you wake up at any time to the hotel manager sucking on your toes?
Whoa, that is a question. A deep question.
It happens.
Well, so...
Okay.
Oh, you guys need to hear about this one. No.
It was his brother.
We did. The last night we were there, we got scared, and we did lock the deadbolt. Like, we made sure it was locked that night. The other nights, I locked it, like, midnight, because I couldn't fall asleep. I have a hard time sleeping in bed with another dude. So...
It's your brother.
That's still another
Honeymoon.
That's not
we had a
weird.
pillow wall, but it made it really small,
Why'd you
and I
want a
was
pillow wall.
because we don't
You
want to
don't
be
need a
gay.
pillow.
Yeah,
You're
we
not-
do.
Oh my
Yeah, we
gosh.
do.
Are you
We're not even
serious,
related
Josh?
through blood.
Look.
Your brother.
No, Josh. If you're
Listen,
gay, you're gay. If you're not gay,
we
then
had our
you don't have to
pillow
worry about
wall.
no pillow
I was
wall.
sick.
At my
The only
bachelor
time you-
party, I slept in a
You're
bed with
changing the
Elijah.
topic because you know where I'm going. We know you're in defeat. That's why we locked the door.
What?
So they called me and they started talking about like feet and whatnot. So my parents were in the room. It was me and my parents, and I was just like, "No, you guys have a foot fetish. That's why you're talking to me about feet because it came out of the blue." And my parents believe me because they should, and we made sure that door was locked. They made me text him and make sure that he knew that that door would be locked that night because we didn't want no Taylor toe sucking time.
You know, you guys frame me. Let me.
That's why he was
Look at
changing the
this.
topic.
But I'm just saying that some people do.
Not me.
When they do, it's a sin. Maybe. It depends on why you're doing it.
Exactly. You guys are wrong.
Dirty.
Listen, let's explain the video.
Hey, I think it speaks for itself.
No, they don't know the context.
This,
Is it a sin 100% of the time?
It depends on why I did it. If I'm doing it to genuinely clean his toes. Why? Just genuinely getting his toes clean. Okay, Josh. If this is genuine, when have you seen a dirty toe and just thought, oh, I want to suck that toe? Well, see, we're always wearing shoes. If you go to a third world country, they're always wearing shoes and they don't have
Josh, no. Dude, stop, man. Stop.
Well, okay, you guys need to know the context. I'm defending
no,
third world countries.
No, you're not.
And I'm using me as
They
an
would be
example.
offended to hear that.
No,
No one would
most
ever
of
do
them.
that, Josh.
Maybe not all of them, though.
No.
You never know. There could be a tribe somewhere. And it's a sign of respect to suck on toes. Is it a sin for them to suck on toes?
Yes.
No. Because they're not doing it in
Hey,
any sinful act.
Did Jesus
manner.
suck on toes?
No, but
Okay, so it's a sin.
Jesus didn't sit in this chair either.
He said it.
But he sat on a
down.
chair.
He did sit down.
And he was a carpenter, so he probably made his own chair.
Did Jesus
have
play
invented
soccer?
the
Is soccer a sin?
He played soccer.
How? Well, no.
There was sports back then. Come
But
on,
did
man.
he play soccer? He did not.
Yeah,
play for
with the
soccer.
Plymouth Rock.
I think you're both wrong, but what is right is that Jesus had a mullet, and so
Hey, but what do you compare
know.
playing soccer with sucking on people's toes?
I'm just saying, Jesus didn't play soccer. Jesus probably didn't suck on toes.
probably.
Probably.
That crosses your mind. that
Okay, so he's
God
saying Jesus
himself-
definitely didn't play soccer, but he
don't
might
think
have
it's a
sucked
sin.
people's toes.
I don't think it's a sin
He
100% of the
didn't do
time.
that.
Does the Bible
You're
say
gonna
he
get
didn't?
smited. I'm gonna scoot over.
Watch them toes, dude.
I
Make sure
know
those
God's
shoes are nice and tight.
powerful to
Oh no.
not let me get struck. by
Last
the
time we
same
talked about
lightning.
toes on the podcast, my family had a sit-down discussion with me.
They should. You're framing me. They should. Okay.
No, they're on
They
my
should.
side now. They
And
know the
another
truth.
sit-down conversation. We got a message, Josh, from a listener who's worried about your health for drinking 10 Monsters, Josh.
At least it wasn't my mom.
Hey, if she hears this one, hey, you know.
Hey, but why we outed him like that though?
Yeah, what
About
is
10
this? I feel
monsters. What's up with
framed.
that?
He said it.
I
on
did
the
say it,
podcast,
yeah.
And we got
But we
a
don't need to say it
concerned
again.
Listener,
Oh, I must have missed it.
I'm still alive. I think it was fine.
concerned listener.
10 monsters, Josh?
Yeah.
Also,
How'd you do
you
that?
know,
It was
we
around
get
his
our
wedding day.
Our listeners
10
complain when we don't
monsters.
answer them, so that's why I'm mentioning it.
Wow.
What's wrong with that? I didn't die.
I drink monsters, so I'm not against
not
that drinking
10.
monsters. But I don't drink
How much
10
money?
monsters.
It was like, well, that's like $20 I spent that day on just monsters.
I'll do like maybe like on a like 2 in a day, but like
I don't even eat monsters anymore. You get the mango tahini. That keeps you awake. The
mango
flavor.
tahini?
I found the flavor it was. I told Taylor. That spicy candy, if you go back a few episodes, you might recall us talking about the lock and how I made it home was Mexican's candy that was spicy. I found out the flavoring was mango.
Okay, guys, our church was segregated this Sunday.
Oh boy.
All of the Mexicans
And
sat
me.
in a blob. It was weird. And then all of the black people were in a different blob. But there was a family over there. And everyone else wasn't.
That's not good.
It was really weird. We all noticed it and started to laugh.
yeah, I'm like confused, but whatever.
I didn't notice this.
Hey, but yeah, no, Josh, 10 monsters?
Yeah.
Why are we outing him, man?
Nah, I mean, I
Saying
thought.
it again.
That was
No,
the
no,
that was
that's-
the climax in the
I just want to know
addiction.
the story because, like I said, I drink monsters. Bro.
I don't remember it. I'm 90% sure it's the day before his wedding, the day of his wedding, and I drank a lot of them with Cade. That's about all I remember.
But Kate drinks that other drink. that
He
gives you
switched over
wings.
now, but me and him, when I went to, he was watching someone's house, and she said it was okay for me to go over with him one night, so I spent the night there with him, and we bought a 24-pack of Monsters and drank almost all of them that night, and the rest we
Why?
finished at church the next
Why,
day.
Josh?
Wow.
You don't do that anymore, right?
No, I stopped. I'm a healthy individual.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm. I had epiphany. I had an epiphany. Like, ooh, this can't be good for me. Here I am.
You guys ever?
Oh no, I can't say it. Sorry, I'll just stop.
How many listeners?
No.
How many listeners do you think get turned off by this? People that don't know us hearing about Josh's foot fetish.
No. I think this is actually listen. If this was in Youth Group Chronicles, people would keep listening. I think that like this isn't a bad topic. Well, for me it is, cause like I don't want.
You're the one with
I
the
don't like
fetish.
this. I don't have the fetish.
You know, there's people
You
at
do.
church who wear shoes and not sandals specifically because of you.
Yeah, but it's fine they do that just because I know you have the foot fetish.
Also,
Now, Josh,
you know,
so-
you tried to take pictures of someone's feet one time.
Whose? I did take pictures of yours and Cade's.
Yeah, but someone else you tried, and now they wear shoes around you too.
No, that was a joke. If I wanted to take the picture,
No,
I
but
would have.
You did. No one else jokes
Okay,
about
guys.
this, Josh. This is all
They
you.
wanted to talk about feet for like hours that day. So eventually I got tired of it and I wanted them to stop.
No
so
one
I
wants
went,
to
look
talk
at this.
about
And one of them had toes out. So I was like, look at this. I could take a
Toes.
picture right now.
That's not true, Josh. No.
It is true. That's what happened.
No.
We were here. We were
Even
10
the
feet
pastors
that
on
way.
staff think you're weird about that, okay? It ain't us, man.
Yeah, but that's because you guys framed me.
No one framed you. That video
No.
speaks for itself.
No, you guys framed
Yeah.
me. That video
Yeah.
doesn't have the beginning.
What was the beginning, Josh?
The beginning saved me. I
What
think.
was the beginning?
Because it starts with the question, like, is it a sin all the time? And everyone
That
has
makes
closed
it worse.
mind.
Why would you even ask
Because
that?
you all have closed. No, you asked it. Everyone
not
has.
ask. I know it's a sin.
No, you guys asked it. I did not
No
ask
one
this
asked
question,
that.
and I just defend
You brought
myself.
that up. And he said, I'm asking for a friend. Someone might ask one day.
Oh, maybe I did ask it. And you know what? Someone did ask.
Because he knew you asked.
No.
Yes.
Trying to cover for you, Josh, but we know which friend it was.
No, he sent a picture of his friend sucking another friend's toe, and he was like, "Is this a sin?"
Oh no,
Yeah,
Josh.
you're in the group chat. You know it's true. You know I'm right. You know that.
Yeah, but you know what else he did?
And then
he
I-
asked for prayer for both of them to be Christian.
Yeah, after I said no, that's bad.
Okay, look, I'm gonna tell you right now, Josh, because it's not normal for a guy to suck another guy's toe.
It's not normal for a guy to suck anyone's toe.
Okay,
Or a
so
girl.
if
I
a
wanna
guy,
delete this
I'm
podcast
telling you,
so
dude,
badly.
if a guy is sucking another guy's toe, they're doing other stuff. It's a sin completely. Forget it. No, Josh.
you guys can
You know,
believe
I won't
this.
delete it. Maybe someone needs to hear this.
Oh.
If you're a guy, stop sucking other guys'
No,
toes.
just anyone who might be gay. I don't know.
You all gay people suck.
No, I'm just.
They just suck
'Cause
other
he
guys'
said-
toes. That was the gist of this, wasn't it? It was a picture. And what friend was this? Oh man.
Yep. See, they're giving up because they know that. Well, he's
up
giving
I'm
up.
giving up on nothing.
Conversation.
I'm
I
just like,
why?
this is just getting weirder and weirder by the minute because
I'm sorry. I
the next
brought it
conversation
up.
we had about this, it
I
was
am the one who brought it up.
we're talking about
I'm sorry, man.
See, Taylor
peanut
keeps
butter
bringing
and
it up.
jelly
Give me.
and Josh being the
Yeah,
bread.
yeah.
Taylor keeps bringing it up
Why?
because he wants to talk about feet.
Oh,
What more proof do I
That's
need?
not true.
Then why would you keep bringing it up?
Because we read that story on the podcast one time about the hotel manager, and you happened to be staying at a
And
hotel.
he
so
wanted
I
to
asked.
talk about feet.
No, I wanted to hear you talk about it.
See, he wanted me to talk about feet. See?
Because it's
weird.
funny.
It's weird. If you,
You
guys
know
don't know
that you
about the
say
peanut
strange
butter
things.
picture
Josh,
that
what
was
kind of friends do you
referenced,
have, man?
Taylor.
Make sure you're being a good godly influence, Josh.
I've
'cause-
tried to stop this.
By still talking about it. No. But if you don't know
No.
the picture that was referenced, there's a picture that I have found on the internet of
You
people
know,
who had toes
me-
inclined,
me-
like a hand holding
Why is
of
this-
couples. but the one foot was painted in peanut butter and the other was in jelly.
Josh, this is bad.
I send that to a lot of
That's
people at the
bad.
church. I don't disagree. That one is pretty bad.
You said you wanted to be the bread.
Then why
I
are
did
you
say that. I've changed.
Why are you
I've
sending it?
changed.
Don't spread
And
it.
I was calling people's bluffs because I knew no one would do it with me. So
And rightfully so, Josh. Are you kidding?
I'm fine with this.
Okay. Yeah.
Come on, you're the driver. Change the subject.
Well, I have one more thing to say on this.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Me
Get us
and
out.
our friend who's been on the podcast, we're talking on Wednesday. And we were both like, as much as we would like to say that we would bet our life that Josh doesn't like
Oh,
feet,
yeah.
we just can't finish the sentence.
Uh,
It's too hard.
that's good. I like keeping it random with you guys. I like you guys not really knowing me.
We do, and that's the problem.
I'll come out one day as a foot dude and like it won't shock anyone, but
You already
you'll
did,
be
Josh.
happy you
Anyways,
didn't.
Josh,
Bet
We
your
already
life on
knew.
it.
It's all right, man.
what about
Yeah.
your life? I assume your life's on some more mature and edifying
No,
things
man.
than
I hang out
feet.
with young adults, man. That's what
Yeah.
I do.
He's now in high school ministry.
Yeah, it's what I
He
do.
had his
It's what
feet
I'm around.
picture posted in the group
Right,
chat
I
and
did.
compared to my
See,
shoes.
see what I mean?
Yeah.
I tried to change the subject. Went right back.
He's just stating a fact, though. I mean, it's like, how do you compare my feet to Josh Eminem's,
I know.
shoes? It's
I got
like,
some
come on.
cool Eminem Adidas, and not the rapper. The rapper would be pretty cool too, though. But the blue
His face
Eminem.
on your shoes.
I think it would be funny. I would love it.
But anyways, I did get a couple votes, so that's kind of
Yeah.
weird.
All the adults voted for you.
Because it felt bad for me.
Yeah.
Like, man, look at those Flintstone toes right there.
Just they respect the sandal.
You know how many people probably have a screenshot of your toes now? It's high school. Lots of people do this.
Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah, no, but that's my life now. Just hang out with y'all. Nothing much, man. Nothing out of the ordinary has happened over here, man. On my side.
Did I tell you guys? Did I say on the podcast last time I had college difficulties?
Which ones?
No.
They delete my account. They like to delete
Oh, yeah.
my account.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did it again. This time I'm in the middle of a class. I'm missing about 250-ish points from it now, which is a quarter of my grade. We'll see where that takes me in life. Nothing I can do. And they're closed
Okay,
today.
guys. Talking about college, I'm gonna put Josh on the spot again because
Uh-oh.
Josh says the darnest things. Josh just says the darnest things. So there's another guy that's started going to college,
Oh.
and Josh made this comment, and I'll let y'all be the judge. All right, I'm just gonna put it out there. I'm not gonna say nothing else. Josh said, "Can I, Josh?
Yeah, I don't know where this is going.
If you say
Yeah.
no, I'll just stop."
I don't
right
remember
now.
it. I want to remember it. Go ahead and say it.
It was last Friday.
I don't remember it.
Okay, so last Friday we're having this conversation, a bunch of dudes there, and so we're talking about this other guy, going to college, and Josh just stops and he's like, you know what? I'm gonna and go to college with this other guy. And I'm like,
Yeah.
Josh, what are you talking about? No, he meant transfer. I know that, but he said trans.
I was really sick. I couldn't think.
No, you were sick this Friday. I'm talking
Oh,
about
that was last
two
yeah,
Fridays
it was,
ago.
wasn't it? Yeah, I can see why someone would turn into a girl to be with him.
That didn't help.
Oh,
Not me, but like I could see it.
dude, let's just change it. I mean, oh my goodness.
I don't even know if I want to go on with this. I really want to say how it was football, but
Nah, dude, hey,
probably
whatever.
gonna come up with some
Draft
foot
was-
injury
oh,
or
wait, we
something.
don't-
I don't
look,
even know.
Look, this is all for fun. We know, Josh don't mean none of this.
Do our
It's
list-
all just
hey.
fun. It's
I
fun.
honestly
This is for fun,
don't.
guys.
I could not completely say Josh does not like toes.
That's a you problem.
I can say Josh don't like toast.
I can't do. You can do what the other dude
I
did.
mean,
One time,
Look at me in the eyes and tell me.
one time I had a dude pull me aside and be
Look
like,
at me in the
"Josh,
eyes and tell
are
me
you into
you
men?"
don't like feet.
Because he thought I was truly gay. And I was like, no. And then he believed me. And
Okay,
yeah, I
look
don't
me
like
in the
toes.
eye. Okay,
You know it's my number one fear.
death.
Toes. Some people doing weird stuff with toes. Like, okay. This is going to expose me. This is gonna expose my worst fear, but you guys get to know it. Taylor knows it. So my fear is that, say I get married, and for some reason my future wife hears all of this. She's gonna. What if she tries to do something weird with feet? Like, I ain't into that. That's my number one fear at the moment.
I ain't into that.
I think your future wife already listens to this, Josh.
That's
but,
not good. But yeah, you want to go into
Pull
football?
out. She's gonna pull out the peanut butter and jelly.
on
Ew.
wedding night.
It's
Hey,
disgusting.
Josh, remember
We're gonna
this?
start a
Disgusting.
tradition. A
No,
wedding
no,
tradition.
no.
Hey,
But-
but whatever. That's different from.
I honestly could see Josh doing like that Christian foot washing at the wedding. I could see
Oh,
that.
you sent me
Yeah.
a reel of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
What's wrong with that?
Someone did.
Nah.
Oh, someone did. Yeah.
What's wrong
Smith
with that?
did it.
That's
Well-
gross.
It is gross. And it's humbling and it's humiliating.
I prefer the
but
cord
you
tying.
do it anyway.
I like cord tying. I don't know. I don't want my feet
Oh, the
exposed to
cord.
any wedding. Mine or someone else's.
Hey, but football. What's up?
See, football.
Okay, dude. Now you're getting weird,
no,
man.
no, I don't want to go back to that topic. We should talk about soccer.
Which is just called football.
Football.
I'm calling it. Hey, in Spanish, that's not how you say foot. Okay.
But in English, it is. But no, it doesn't matter. So, college week 1. Last week was week 0. I don't know how you get week 0.
I don't
play
like being
games, but
teased.
Week 1, last night, LSU lost to Florida State. And my question is Florida State back?
Are they the Seminoles?
Yeah.
Back from what?
Well,
Sucking.
They used to be one of the top programs, 15, 20 years ago, and they've just been in the dumpsters for a while. Now they're a top 10 team, and they just crushed LSU, which I don't really agree with this. I always think LSU's overrated. I don't think LSU's ever really that good. They lucked out like 3 or 4 years ago and won that title, but I don't think they're that good at all. And I think they were just exposed. They got
As
crushed by like 21 points. As just the SEC bias, because all these boats are coming in from ESPN and ESPN writers for the most part, and it's all SEC for them. And you get a team from the ACC that's coming in and just crushing them, because the game wasn't even close. It was like 25 to 40 something, and it was like total domination. But see, to me, that just reveals the bias.
yeah.
And then the other question, Ohio State struggled against a really bad team. So, is that going to be how their season? Is that how their season's going to go, or are they going to get better? USC, they rolled this week. I liked them better this week than last week, so that's a good sign. But still, and then Oregon State, which was the other team that I thought looked like really good, because it's not a team that you would think like, oh my God, they're going to be good. But hey, they won 10 games last year, and they just crushed. I forget who they were playing, but they just crushed them too.
But college football is kind of like that, where one team crushes the other team.
Yeah, for the most part.
Yeah.
Well, because a lot of teams, like, look, a lot of the bigger schools, like I was telling you from the SEC, that's so great. They go to like Division II schools and they pay them out a bunch of money just so they can go in there and just bash their heads in. Like, why is Alabama playing a Division II school for any reason? You know what I'm saying? Oh, but the SEC's the greatest. Alabama's number 1. Nah, man, what a joke. And there were several teams from the SEC that played Division II schools. Not much better than a high school team. No, they're better than a high school team, but
I think that some of the best high school teams could beat some of the worst college teams. I believe it.
Yeah.
I believe it.
maybe at JC, maybe at junior college,
Yeah,
but not.
I agree with the
Division
junior
one,
I mean,
Division
like
two, no
Division
way.
3.
No, because it's so hard.
Maybe
Yeah.
Division 2, Division 2, Division 1, there's no way.
Probably the lower end of Division 2, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
Lower end of you think they could be a D2 school? You're saying they all get drafted at D1 schools at the best high school?
Yeah.
They don't.
Every single one of them gets a D1 draft starter. No.
No, but say a school like that existed.
Well, there's a lot of schools like that. I forget the one in Florida.
Then they might be able to beat a really bad Division II school.
Nah, because like even like if you look at modern day, okay, they've got like 3 quarterbacks in the NFL, and you can't take them and play a college team and them win. Heck no, they lose to other high school teams. Come on.
Yeah, but maybe some of the, maybe that means it's just more than one high school that could beat.
No,
College
dude,
team.
no, stop. Stop this argument.
Yeah.
So do you think that a college team could beat an NFL team? Actually, at this point, I think a lot of teams could beat the Cardinals. They are all college players.
Josh, that's ignorant. No.
No, the
Not even
Cardinals.
close.
The
The
Cardinals-
You
Cardinals will
serious?
crush them.
Kyler Murray's like 4'8".
No,
It
that's
doesn't
not
matter.
the issue. The Kyler Murray is one of like 4 players left who have played in the NFL before. Everyone else is a college draft.
No, that's not true either, Josh.
No, everyone's on their rookie contract.
You want to place a bet, a hefty bet.
Yeah,
that you,
because
what
this
you're
will
saying
never
is
happen.
insane.
Because this will never happen. Yeah. Now what if it
No,
did
no.
happen?
The reason
bet-
I
my bet
advocate
is
for this
that-
argument, even if I'm wrong, is in hopes that one day someone will put a game together.
Well, no. I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking
Wanna
about
watch
the
it.
comment that Josh said that all their players are in the rookie
Oh,
contract.
that I'm not gonna do that. No,
Well, I know because it's
but a
mythical.
lot of them are.
No.
Well, look.
Every team gets 7 picks. Some pick less because they've traded others away. And then they'll get like a couple undrafted rookies. No, not even close, Josh. You might not even have 10 on the 53-man roster.
Okay, here's my problem, guys. I
We
don't
got a
know.
lot of
I don't know
picks,
how
though.
to sit around on camera.
Well, then don't sit around. Stand up and jump like you normally do.
No, but I'm like stretching. I don't jump. And just,
He does. He gets up and cheers and gets excited, claps his hands.
Josh,
It
Josh, we have
Shot me
video, man.
to
Gotta give him the hearts, man.
It shot me to baseball. The baseball Cardinals. Hold on. Look at football. Anyways, I don't watch much college. You guys ready for the NFL season?
Oh, they're on bye week, Josh.
Huh?
They're on bye week.
They're on bye week?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, no,
Well, that's
yeah.
what
Are
he
we
said.
ready?
Are you
Yeah,
ready?
Thursday.
Oh,
Thursday starts.
for
Hey, so
some
we're going to have our draft on Saturday?
football.
A week late?
Yeah. You know what? This is too difficult to look. I'll get back to you guys in a later week on how many are on their rookie contract. We need our draft. You guys should do a draft. You should band together as the Winging It fans, and
Make a winging it fantasy football.
yeah, that would be so cool. I would suddenly be a fan of this podcast and listen just to join. I don't know how you guys could do that, but I believe in you.
Well, anyways, guys, you can follow us on Instagram. We'll be putting up shorts now.
We will.
That we have video. We have a Patreon. Dash just a Joyful Truth Productions, where you can donate to help support us, to dedicate more time into projects, to deliver the truth of God, in a joyful way to people through entertainment. And there was one other thing.
Sell
Email. We have an
Sell out.
email. I don't know what you're talking about, but we have
Okay.
hold on. We have an email address if you want to ask questions about the Bible or about any one of us, or to Josh, because I'm sure we all have lots of questions about Josh at this point.
I have a lot of questions about me. Don't worry. I'll see if I can answer.
The email's in the description.
Or
And
just
so
leave a comment.
let's get to Bible after Josh explains why I'm a sellout.
Huh? Nah.
Okay. Hold on.
Free.
So how much are we
podcast.
betting, Josh?
I will.
It is free.
I'll bet you 10 breaths of air.
Oh, God.
You can take 10 of my last breaths.
You can keep
How
them.
are
I
you even going to
refuse.
transfer
I
that?
The
Oh,
Cardinals
you
roster
found
right
it.
here.
I would like to not look at this.
Okay. There's 8 rookies.
That's a lot.
That is not a lot. That's
8 out
normal
of
for every
50.
team.
8 out of 50 is a lot.
If out of 53. But you look at every team, they got the same. Some
Nope.
even have more.
Nope.
Okay, Josh. Now do you want to bet? Because, now you're really getting ludicrous.
Nope.
How much we betting?
Nothing.
And
We'll pay your whole
Dad gets so
paycheck.
angry.
My paycheck last week didn't have one.
Dad or Josh
week
Josh
after.
needs his
Austin didn't have
paychecks for this month.
Huh?
Josh needs his paychecks this month.
Hey, if we bet and he wins, he's going to double it. But if he's so confident.
I don't like that.
You could just not work this week and then
No, I need
Problem
my
solved.
paycheck this week. Yeah, I don't think I want to make this bet.
You can double it, John. Weren't
I
you just
don't
so
wanna
confident
make
right
this
now?
bet.
Talking about how
Hey.
the Cardinals have all rookies and that's what
Yeah,
they
but it was a
I-
friendly
I-
conversation that didn't
until-
involve conquest.
I have
Come on, man.
confidence until the proof gets stacked on the table, and I see that the proof is stacked on the table.
Oh, man.
Always
Josh.
pull out when you can. If I was playing pool, no, not pool, blackjack. If I was playing, no. What is it? Texas Hold'em. Man, I would have put nothing on the table.
I'd have gone all in, Josh. Without even looking at the roster because I already
John,
know.
chapter 3,
Oh, we're in the
verse
Bible.
22.
John chapter 3.
I'm more of a fan of James.
Same.
Whoa.
Why?
It's cooler.
It's just, it's short and sweet and built different.
I think
Short. sweet.
Matthew's my favorite gospel, just because that's the one I read the most in school.
What you're just saying in class.
Well, I like John.
Okay.
I just like the Bible, guys.
You guys want to fight about this, man?
Let's do it. Verse 20,
2.
chapter 3, verse 22 of chapter 3. The title for this paragraph is John the Baptist Exalts Christ. Verse 22. After these things, Jesus and his disciples. What are these things that they're talking about? I wasn't here, so you guys want to give a
Oh,
recap?
you weren't?
No, I took last week off.
Well, we didn't talk about
We
this
didn't-
last week.
I don't know what
Oh,
we
you
talked
didn't?
about.
Oh,
No.
cool. I'm just going to read from 19.
Yeah, well, anyways, yeah. So, yeah, after these things, Jesus was just talking to Nicodemus. So,
my God.
Nicodemus was asking about being born again and stuff, and Jesus was explaining that.
Yep.
And how the men loved darkness rather than light because their deeds were evil. So, after these things,
Jesus and his disciples came into the land of Judea,
Judea.
and there he remained with them and baptized. Now John was also baptizing in Enon,
Anon. Yeah.
near Salim, because there was much water there, and they came and were baptized. Lots of baptizing going on. Maybe that's why he has the John the Baptist nickname. You never know. For John had not yet been thrown into prison. Then there arose a dispute between some of John's disciples and the Jews about purification. I want to make a quick comment. I was reading Matthew earlier. I don't remember what chapter it is where it talks about Jesus going to get baptized. But it does not go in this much detail by any means. Pretty exciting.
Yeah.
Then there arose verse 26, and they came to John and said to him, Rabbi, he who was with you beyond the Jordan, to whom you have testified, behold, he is baptizing, and they're all coming to him. John answered and said, a man can receive nothing unless it has been given to him from heaven. You guys have any comments? No. We're gonna
Keep going.
Okay. You yourselves bear with me witness that I said I am not the Christ, but I have been sent before him. That's a very big thing to look in the times we are, with the Antichrist coming and everything. Maybe this will be out there during this, and this statement will go to someone. If they claim to be God, they're not. Well, yeah.
And also just the humility it takes. Like, if someone's putting you up to be God, like, I mean, you would think your pride would want you to be okay with that. But John is clearly just giving that up, acknowledging God. And that is the point of our lives, is to give glory to God.
Yeah.
To point to God with our lives. And that's exactly what John was doing the whole time.
Yeah, and lots of failed churches will fail because the pastor gets full of pride because people start to look at him instead of God. But yeah.
And of course, his head will get big. When I teach, when it's my turn to teach or whatever, at church, and people come up to me and they're like, "Oh, hey, good message, man." I feel weird. I'm like, no, this is not about me. The message is from God. Because and I've noticed this, and I know it's 100% from God, because I'll get my study ready and I'll have all these notes, and once I'm up there, a lot of times I probably won't even use half the notes that I had, and so that's when the Holy Spirit takes over. Because that's your prayer when you're up there is, Lord, speak through me. Use me, Don't let me, don't let it be about me. But, yeah, even that makes me uncomfortable. Like, nah, it's not about me, man. It's Jesus. It's his message.
I'm definitely different with my notes whenever I teach. I use my notes, but I look back on them like before I teach.
Uh-huh.
Or like if there's a break in between when I'm writing it, and I'm like, well, I didn't write that.
Right.
Yeah.
No, because, look, I will go to the extent, I'll have it ready a few days early, and I will stand in front of a mirror, and I'll rehearse it, and I'll see how long it's going to take me. So I'll know exactly how long the message is. And a bunch of times I end up going way over. Rarely, I cut short, but it's like, wait a minute. All this stuff, afterwards I'm thinking, like, a lot of this stuff, I didn't even plan to say. I didn't even know I was going to say.
Yeah. And same, when God gives you a message, kind of you have to learn it first, and it applies to you, and that's why you should want to share it with others. And a lot of times I'll be up there and say something, and sometimes it's the first time I'm hearing it too, and I'm learning as I'm speaking it out, and it's crazy.
Oh, absolutely.
I was talking with Donjay, who's been on the podcast before, and he was pointing out how the gift of teaching, does help the speaker and stuff, but at the same time, it also gives understanding to the people, because sometimes they'll get something from it that you didn't even exactly say, but it just clicked, based on whatever they're going through and what they're reading and something, and then they just think you said it, and so how it really makes it out, it's not about you, and I learned this recently too, because sometimes I don't dedicate as much time as I should to preparing a study, and yet it always turns out. And before I used to think, well, why does God do that? Like, it's not like I'm good enough. It's not like he's like defending me from my own irresponsibility. So I don't know why he's doing that. But then it finally clicked that all these people are coming to learn the word of God, and God's not going to let me get in the way of them. And so really I'm the one doing them a disservice, and God's just letting them still pick up from it, which really shows how even the teacher himself really isn't anything but an instrument. And so
That's it right there. I love that. Yes, sir.
I think verse 29, right, Josh?
Yeah, verse 29. He who has the bride is the bridegroom, but the friend of the bridegroom who stands and hears him rejoices greatly because of the bridegroom's voice. Therefore, this joy of mine is fulfilled. He must increase, but I must decrease. Which just keeps going with what we're saying. Pastors can get. They
Hey,
can
but you know
lose
what?
their
Let me go back.
ability.
Let me go back. I'm gonna take us way
But
back.
just
over
real
here.
quick, just one word to notice is the must. Not that he should increase and I should decrease, or I could, or I would. Like, he must. It has to be this way.
Yeah, no. So I wanted to take us back all the way back to, man, it might have been 26, when they come and they tell John that Jesus is baptizing on the other side, but there's no record of Jesus ever baptizing anybody. Right? The disciples did, but Jesus himself didn't, if I'm not mistaken. So I find that very interesting. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or am I mistaken there? Is there a record of Jesus
Well,
baptizing
this
somebody?
could be considered a record of him baptizing. But at the same time, he may have done something like Paul, too, to where he didn't directly baptize him. So no one could be like, well, God himself baptized me.
Exactly. So that's what I believe. So what I believe was happening here was that, yes,
His
Jesus
disciples,
was there,
yeah.
and he's the one that delivered the message.
Probably facilitating.
Right.
Yeah.
But he was, his disciples were the ones baptizing, which reminds me a lot like when we went to Pirates Cove, where it was an event that was put together by Greg Laurie, the baptism. And you show up there and you go and you got anywhere from 20 to 30 different pastors from different churches that are all there baptizing people. So that's how I kind of envisioned this, to where like Jesus was there, he delivered the message. Now people want to be baptized, and all his disciples are out in the water, and they're the ones baptizing people. So that's just how I envision. I don't know if you guys, that are listening, have ever been to like a big baptism like that where you got thousands of people being baptized. Could you imagine if it was just Jesus and he's got his 12 disciples just standing over there to the side? Yeah.
I'm
So
taking a while.
Yeah.
right. And one thing that was very interesting, I've never seen this before, but there was like husbands and wives that were being baptized at the same time. And so they would just hold together, and then like the pastor would just put them both down at the same time. It was weird how they did it, but two at the same time, husband and wife. I thought that was really cool.
He who comes from above is above all. He who comes from heaven is above all. And what he has seen and heard, that he testifies, and no one receives his testimony. Did I read that right? Yeah. I want to point out right there how what comes from heaven is above all. How that's Jesus. Other religions will tell you that like we were all spirits in heaven and then waiting for a body, and then we got sent down here because we finally had a body. Well, that would make us to come from heaven and be God, and that's not, And if you could say angels or whatever, well, there is a theory. Some people it literally is a theory because like there's nothing in the Bible, but maybe a verse or two that if you stretch it can get you there. But some people theorize that the angels were actually here on earth and so was God. And then when the big rebellion happened, that's when God destroyed the earth and all this stuff, and it became like it is in Genesis 1:2, void and without form. And then some people theorize that the creation of the earth is like a recreation in a sense. But there's a lot of interesting theories about creation, actually, that I think are biblical. This is way off topic, but anyways, are biblical in a sense because, outside of evolution and within creation, there's still a lot of like, what about this or that? But I think the main thing that's important is that it was a literal week of creation, not like each day represented this many millions of years. Like, no, that makes no sense.
Yeah. Well, also, since we're on the topic of creation now, if you say evolution happened during creation, that means death happened, which means the curse was before sin was put in, which doesn't make any sense. It'd be kind of weird also if things were alive for millions of years without death, and they could just continue reproducing.
And it'd be weird for there to be light and no sun until day 4.
Hey, but what about all these people that say, well, science has proven that it's been millions and millions of years ago because the way you test the bones and this and that.
Send them the same bone, 2 different pieces, they'll come back with completely different.
Exactly. But one thing that I started telling them, because I do run into a lot of people that believe this, is like, look, if there really is a God and God created everything and he's almighty and all powerful, could he not have, dated those bones to be that old? Why not?
Because like Adam wasn't a baby.
Right. And
he appeared to be a man.
If the God is, 1,000 years is a day for him? So that's nothing for him. That's nothing. Here you go. Because that's just the way I see it. If he's God can do anything. All powerful, He's a creator. He'd do anything he wants. Why couldn't he do that?
I mean, at the end of the day, even with us saying that we're right, they'll say they're right. It doesn't really matter because it's not a topic about salvation. It's like we shouldn't dispute over this for you people out there.
It's all about Jesus, baby.
And what he has seen and heard, that he testifies, and no one receives his testimony. He who has received his testimony has certified that God is true. For he whom God sent speaks the words of God. For God does not give the Spirit by measure. So there's a lot right there. But first, what would you say to someone who says this is a contradiction where it says no one receives his testimony, then immediately says he who has received his testimony.
Well, here, let me read you my translation here, the NLT, starting in 32. He testifies about what he has seen and heard, but how few believe what he tells them. Anyone who accepts his testimony can affirm that God is true. For he is sent by God, he speaks God's words, for God gives him the Spirit without limit.
That right there kind of takes away the contradiction.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
If you want to get rid of contradictions, you need to study reliable sources.
and a lot of times, because you could have got to, just the simplified version like I have, but it'd be a little bit harder from the, New King James or King James, because you'd have to go and look up what those words actually meant. So that makes it a little bit harder. But could you imagine, like it says right here, let me read it so it doesn't, so I don't mess it up. For God gives him the Spirit without limit. If we had the Spirit without limit, how would that be?
Well, I mean, we can look at Peter and Acts. We just went over on Wednesday, right?
Uh-huh.
Thousands were saved over one time he talked. And that wasn't even Spirit without limit. That was just what he
Right.
had.
Right, because I believe Jesus is the only one who's had that Spirit without limit, because, he's part of them. He is
Now,
the
there
Spirit.
is a way to read this, and I think the only way to know for sure is to go look at a concordance and the Hebrew words, which isn't as hard as it sounds if you have Blue Letter Bible. But
Blue letter.
look how it says, and he has seen and heard that he testifies, and no one receives his testimony. Notice these are all capitals.
Yeah.
He who has received his testimony has certified that God is true. So Jesus accepting the testimony of God, because he is God, certifying himself to be true. And for he whom God sent speaks the words of God, Jesus. For God does not give the Spirit by measure. The Father loves the Son and has given all things into his hand. So this also, I think, could be talking just about Jesus himself.
It is. Keep going.
He who believes in the Son has everlasting life. He who does not believe in the Son shall not see life, but the wrath of God abides on him. And notice if you just keep reading, it makes more
Hey,
sense.
but check this out, though. Like, mine says right here, and I love this right here. Simplified for me. It says 36. And anyone who believes in God's Son has eternal life. Anyone who doesn't obey the Son will never experience eternal life, but remains under God's angry judgment. So I wonder if that's the correct translation here on my version, because it doesn't say believe, it says obey. It doesn't say anyone that doesn't believe. But I mean, I guess if you don't believe, you're not obeying anyway, right?
Well, yeah, to obey is to believe.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, because I can't follow something if I don't believe in it. So.
And if you believe in it, you will obey it, typically.
Right. Or at least do your best to, because, as human beings here with this flesh, we're fallen.
Yeah. Well, anyways, any last comments on chapter 3 here?
Pretty lit chapter.
I love it that all the way to the end, it's talking, it starts like in, everybody knows, John 3:16 and all that stuff. But all the way to the end, it's talking about how, whoever believes is saved, and whoever doesn't believe is not going to be saved. They're not going to have eternal life. And it quotes it about 3 different times there. Obviously, we focus in John 3:16 because the word's written in red. But, I mean, it continues on here all the way to the end, as you can see.
And we would say this is kind of a chapter that targets baptizing, right? And nowhere in the chapter does it say that you have to be baptized to be saved.
Yep.
Right.
So, Josh,
That's me.
would you like to say farewell with the sound?
Yeah, I heard you guys are missing out, so you get to see me do it now. This is going to be something weird.